Hello everyone, welcome back to another showcase. Now I'm just hanging out here with Andre, making some blades. I thought, why would you make blades when you already have a weapon that's perfect for bludgeoning an enemy to death with? Just think about it. It's already a big hammer. It's already looks quite deadly. So it begs the question, why would you need to make a blade if the weapon in your hand does the job just as easily? Well, I intend to find it out. Now, how you get the hammer is entirely up to you. There's a couple ways to get it. But yes, the Blacksmith Hammer is what's the item of choice. Which any blacksmith will tell you it's atrocious to even think of such a thing. Anyway, the description reads, metal hammer passed down amongst blacksmiths of the shrine. Serves as a strike weapon, or tool, but also excels at reducing poise and breaking the guard of a shield, which we'll test later. Of course, a hammer's true potential is realized in the hands of a blacksmith. The skill is perseverance, usually a fall to skill of mostly heavy weapons, but assumes an unfaltering stance of prayer to temporarily boost poise. Damage reduced while activated. But yes, not really a weapon, it's a tool. As much as you think it's a weapon, it's still a tool. It's designed, it's purposed, and that's what it is. Visually, this weapon's actually pretty hard looking. The handle's fine, but you get to the fuller on the back end, which we'll use in the striking, it's god-awful looking. As a use of light blacksmithing myself, this is awkward looking, this is horrible looking. I would never use this hammer in that state. I would fix it first. But whatever Andre does is what Andre does. Now, for physical stats, it's no different from a beginner weapon, which is surprising, because you don't get this early in the game, at least by not normal means. If you want to acquire this naturally, you're nearly at the end of your playthrough. Which is odd how weak it is in terms of physical. The achieve bonus, well, you only get strength. No surprise with this one, you don't need dexterity for making blades. Trivia requirements is very little strength and dexterity, which you should have both by the time you get this weapon naturally. The skill Perseverance costs very little to cast, and chances are you'll be spamming it when using it. And not to mention it's modern weight, but the funny thing is, the Uchi Katana, which I covered in my previous video, has the same weight of 5.0. Now, I know katanas aren't the lightest things in the world, but this is like a heavy-duty blacksmith hammer that's normally used to create claymores, large clubs, and all that. You honestly can't sit there and tell me they both weigh the same. I know it's all the weight's on the one end for the hammer, the katana is distributed, but you pick up a sledgehammer and swing it around a bit and tell me, then think yourself, what do you think's lighter and easier to use, a katana or a sledgehammer? Enough said. Okay, for the animation, well, the basic attack is a simple lunge, almost like a mace. That's pretty much the animation of this weapon. And no surprise, while the ground pound of this weapon makes a lot more sense than any mace. But yes, the animations are pretty much blunt swings. Nothing special here in terms of animation. Ground pound with double-handed. Perseverance, though, is shared among many weapons, mainly the heavy weapon variety. Take less damage when you cast it. Makes it pretty much good for getting inside enemy combos. And the sprint attack, no surprise, it's a ground pound. Now, the upgrade. This weapon takes Titanite shards, and the upgrade is meh. 10 points for basic and only 8 for the bonus. That's rather on the frail side. And it's again the consistent theme. You're not getting a whole lot for upgrades, to be honest. This is a rather obscure weapon that stat-wise it seems to do very poorly. And that was the last upgrade I'm taking it to, and still the achievement bonus is the same. Modern upgrades. So how's it doing field? Well, to be honest, like any other mace, it does meh. This weapon's slow, so you have to really get inside your enemy's combos. There's no good opening with a lot of opponents. So a backstab, it did alright. Did 400 some damage, but then again, this weapon's not affected by armor, and so it shouldn't be. It creates armor. Yeah, created. I can sure as hell destroy it. But anyway. But yes, including the short range and the very slow animation, it makes a rather awkward weapon to use. To be honest, I'm not sure who would even choose this weapon over many other weapons in this game. There's so many others. But hey, maybe someone wants to be, I don't know, the destructive blacksmith who hates everything he created. Oh no, it's kind of weird. That is weird. But anyway, let's test that shield break. Let's go wake this guy up. So a power attack did pretty good. Now, let's break that shield. As the perseverance is working rather well. I don't want to get knocked around too much. But first I'll just try this. And it's about 500 and some damage. Okay, now let's try the shield break. So the shield, the parry, pretty much the parry damage is excellent. That's one power attack. That's two power attacks. And I can go in for the kill. Dude, nice, nice. Oh shoot, I did kill him all the way. Did more damage than I thought it would. Now, against a bigger opponent, well here we go, let's try this. Unfortunately, it did not get through the giant's guard at all. And the giant just parries it off. Now this fight's probably gonna hurt. Yeah, this fight's gonna hurt. Because the animation of the Black Knight's rather aggressive, so I do my special just to ignore the stagger they'll do to me. Which is really handy. But I don't recommend relying on it, because it still gets you killed pretty quick. Even so, I take only a third of the damage. But if I don't use it, I'm not getting in between his attacks once I go for the back attack. Just relying on it still gets me hurt badly. Oh, this is just a bad weapon to use against any of these Black Knights. But, oh well, it still can get the job done. Alright, on some pros and cons for Blacksmith Hammer. On the pro side, well, the shield breaker aspect works against medium-small shields, maybe not large ones. And the special does work, allow you to get between enemy hits, so they don't finish their combo in time. On the con side, it is actually a little bit on the weaker side for comparing to most weapons of its category. It's also rather slow. Animations are so slow, in fact, that it was actually troublesome hitting some opponents between their attacks. Those are the pros and cons. Now the score for the Blacksmith's Hammer. Damage, I give 6 out of 10, because I noticed something peculiar. You can check back early in the video if you want proof. Upon watching my footage again, I realized that the power attacks were almost no stronger than the regular attacks. Unless I charged it up first. But yes, just a plain old power attack only did around 20 more damage than a single plain attack. I was actually rather surprised with that, didn't quite notice the first time around. So that's why I give the damage such a low number. Reach? 4 out of 10, because it's actually a bit shorter than most basic weapons. With its slow swing speed, it makes it quite difficult to wield, actually. Animation? I give 4 out of 10. We're bringing nothing really new to the table at all, and the two-handed attacks being almost identical to the single-handed attacks. The bonus? 5 out of 10, for not being really weak or strong. Nothing special there. Miscellaneous? 4 out of 10. At least, it was truthful about the shield breaker aspect for the most part, and the special worked. But for when you can actually acquire this weapon so late in the game, it fails to hold up against every other weapon put in front of it. So the total score for the Blacksmith's Hammer is 23 out of 50. Bad, is what I call this weapon, which any weapon falls underneath the halfway category is bad in my book. But that's my opinion. So maybe the Blacksmith's Hammer is not the best weapon in the shed. It's one of the best tools, though, and that's probably where you should leave it. Leave it to Andre. He may not be best at cracking skulls, Or is he? He's quite the hunk. But no matter. Whether you use it or not is entirely up to you. But anyway, that's been today's showcase. I thank you for watching, and see you next time. Take care.